Let's fucking go! Thanks everybody and peace out. Welcome to another Snyder Fans Read Comics series, and this time it is Superman attacking Arkham Asylum. So I'm your host Taladia Plays, and welcome on in, Tevya, and welcome Pika. But before we do, let's bring on my co-host. You guys know him as Comics League. Let's get him his intro.
Lois Lane
Hey,
sucks.
Lois Lane is Lois Lane, yes. Hey, Ruth. And
What's up?
Ruth, just to be clear, DM me after the stream because I need to ask you something very important.
All right. So welcome back to New 52 Comics, the best
Yes.
era of DC. So we're talking about Justice League issue 9. I'll go ahead and bring it up.
Yep.
So this is where the plot we get back to the plot because like I said last week, for like 2 or so issues, the art, for one thing, Jim Lee takes a break from the book. And they start doing a lot more like transitional books, stories into like the Justice League is now forming. So this is the team. And hello, Ruth. How are you? So we start to open up on this author's home, and he'll be very important later.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
so what's happening with him is that during the attack in Justice League Origin by Darkseid, he and his family got exposed to like apocalyptic energy. And his family got cancer and died.
Wow.
And he blames the Justice League. So that should tell you. And he then kills his doctor. And it's kind of like he's gonna like get powered up to fight the Justice League.
Justice League, yeah. Yeah.
Then we have the most useless character ever, Steve Trevor, going through and bringing wine to his sister's home. And then we have Batman reading the letter from Flashpoint.
The famous letter.
That's the letter from Flashpoint. That is correct. So obviously Flashpoint happened probably in between Origin and this issue.
Yeah.
And then we have Lois Lane at the Daily Planet, and they're like organizing everyone for like a lunch run. No one asked Clark to come join them for lunch. And I love this. He gets a text from Bruce. He's like, got lunch plans? And then Clark's like, okay, I see what it is. Then we hard cut to Arkham Asylum, and Superman is like annihilating. Superman is basically like helping Batman with an Arkham Asylum prison escape attempt.
Yeah. That was going to be the thumbnail of the stream, but it just didn't fit on the
Can you imagine you're a criminal trying to escape Arkham and Batman shows up and you're like, okay, maybe I can take Batman. Then Superman shows up.
It's like, oh no.
He's like, no, I'm not even trying this. Hell no. And Superman basically goes, get in your cell, Clayface, or get hurt. And he's heat visioning Clayface. Oh yeah, what's up? And Tevya, I figured you would have disagree with me on my John Kent video, but I appreciate you being civil, brother. And yes, the artwork is amazing because it's freaking Jim Lee. When has he ever drawn something that didn't look awesome? So then, so it's essentially what's kind of cool is then Cyborg shows up and like uses cannons to like subdue all the criminals. And by Randy says DC should have stayed the course of the New 52. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Randy. 100%.
Randy.
They have never recovered from it.
No.
And we get Cyborg talking about his dad. And then Superman's like, don't worry. Those criminals are getting away. I see a shortcut. And he just punches a hole in a wall and just goes, follow me.
And you know,
Then,
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring this up, right?
mm-hmm.
With this comic, um, it definitely brought back some memories of BVS.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
It brought some memories of BVS. You know, you got like Wonder Woman in public, and then you've got Bruce having a time with Clark, and you kind of see that in BVS.
Well, again, the reason for that is because this came out before the Snyderverse, and the Snyderverse is like heavily based on like source material from the new 52. It's why a lot of air quote real DC fans on Twitter hate it, because it's based upon the era that they hate, even though it saved DC. So
Yeah,
Steve Trevor is then kidnapped by someone that wants to get to Wonder Woman, which I wouldn't know why you would ever try to capture Steve Trevor. He's literally the least important character in all of DC. And then I love this. So Green Lantern and Flash are like interrogating a villain. They're going to start interrogating a villain. And what's kind of funny is they play the good cop, bad cop routine. And Green Lantern's like, have you ever heard of the Weasel? And then the guy go, actually, no, it says, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. If it wasn't for me, the Flash would already be in here vibrating his hand through your brain to get answers and turning into mush. The Flash can do that? Oh, yeah. But it leaves the victim, I mean the perp, stuck wearing adult diapers for the rest of his life. Just ask the Weasel. Who's the Weasel? Do us both a favor and tell us what we want to know. I've got enough to clean up. So the villain actually says no. And then they're like, oh no, now we have to call her. And then Wonder Woman shows me, goes, I thought you were the bad cop, because remember, she has the lasso of truth. Then we
yeah,
flash to Steve Trevor being a complete a-hole to Wonder Woman, as he normally is. And then again, they're interrogating the villain. It turns out at the same time as the Arkham Asylum breakout, both of the things were perpetuated by someone named Graves, and we'll get that later. So that will continue later. And then Graves is interrogating Steve Trevor to get information on the Justice League. He like breaks a couple of fingers. No one cares because of Steve Trevor. And then he escapes. And I love the way I love that visual of Wonder Woman. Yeah, you mean this one? Yeah, it's so good.
yeah,
I just love the way Jim Lee draws Wonder Woman, because she's the perfect mix of like muscularity but still femininity.
feminine. Yeah,
Plus, she just looks freaking gorgeous. And then we get more of the Shazam story. It's basically the school scene from the Shazam movie
yeah,
where he gets the powers. It's basically that. We also see Dr. Savannah getting his eye magic thing. But yeah,
yeah.
so that's by the way, here's a teaser for the next issue.
So when I read the comic, I was just like, it can't be Reverse Flash because that would be epic if it was.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
There's another way to look at Steve Trevor. Steve here, Jared. Not your own way. You could be walking out as a no-win situation and not being happy about it.
But my
Love,
point is that you
lo-
enter into a relationship. It's no one cares as teacher. Yeah, exactly, exactly. No one cares. He's literally the most irrelevant character in DC, besides Lois Lane, obviously.
yeah,
The backup story still annoys me. It's been years since I read that backup Shazam book. It's pretty much the movie. But to Pika's comment, the reason why I hate it is because he knows she doesn't have experience with the relationships, and yet he just puts pressure on her. Because here's the thing, I always say the reason why I like Superman with Wonder Woman is Superman is the complete opposite of what the Amazons think of men. Steve and Batman are what the Amazons think of men. That's
yes.
it. That's why they don't work with Wonder Woman as Steve and Batman, is what I'm saying. You also
But
have these dope pencils by Lee. But
uh,
anyway, what were you
yeah,
going to say, Talia?
like when I read this issue, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there wasn't as much action. There was a little bit of action, but that still satisfied me because
Yeah,
we
there
did
was
get,
enough, and there's enough well-drawn stuff that looks badass that you're like, okay, you
yeah,
know what? I'm good.
yeah. So like when I read this, I was just like, interesting on how Clark is like isolated in one booth at the Daily Planet,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
And it's
Batman.
like, yeah. But Batman texted me. He's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?"
Yeah, because like, by the way, this is the next issue that we're going to be
Yeah, I'm
covering.
just showing
Issue
you a
10.
tease.
This is the next issue, issue 10, with
I
Jimmy
think.
returning.
Hang on. I have to check one thing if this has the moment I'm talking about in this. I have to see. Does it have it? No, it doesn't. But we're coming up on a fantastic moment in a new 52 Wonder Woman. No, it's not Black Hand. I'm not revealing who it is.
No, we're
But
not going to reveal it, Tevia.
Randy
You,
brings up a
you,
good point, and I hate traditional love interests because they turn these gods into simps. Yeah, exactly. It turns Superman into super simp. That's what it turns him into.
Super Simp. You know what?
Although
I
I'm
like
still
that.
partial to the Zois ship. I'm just saying, General Zod and Lois,
Zoe
they
ship.
are made for each other.
You know what, Jared? I want you to tweet that out right now, live on air. Zoe's for life,
All right,
and then put.
I'm gonna grab an image of General Zod and an image of Lois and put them. These two belong together.
Yeah, I want you to
All
tweet
right,
that,
here we go. Let's see if I
I'll
can piss
retweet.
people off. General
I'll
Zod.
retweet it, and I'll retweet it.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna be interesting. I'm trying to find a good image of Zod. Ah, here we go. This is a good one. So I'll use this one, and then I need to Google Lois Lame. So thanks for that, Taladia.
Well,
Uh,
uh,
yeah, I
just
just
look
handed
like
Jared another hashtag. Yes, yes, you did. Super sim cheese. All right, here we go. Let me find a good one. All right, here we go. Here we go.
thank you, Randy.
Thank
That
you,
this
Randy. This is gonna be awesome. All right, so let me pull this up real quick. I'm trying to find the
Tevia.
picture.
It makes total
It makes
sense.
total sense because they are just like each other. Character wise, they fit so well.
I'm waiting for your tweet to pop up.
Yeah, hang on. I just need to get both images. Uh, I love how we stopped the discussion just so I could tweet out this joke. That's awesome. That's Comics League for you.
That is Comics League, yes.
Here is a match made in heaven. Two characters whose personalities fit
This is
so
gonna
well together.
this is gonna explode Twitter.
Okay, and then I'm gonna put hashtag Zois.
You Tevia's like, you fools, you gave Jared ammo who plays haters for to Lois Lane.
I'm gonna put in parentheses General Zod and Lois Lane. Here we go. This is the new ship I'm starting. Watch this actually become a movie. Well, with James Gunn, you never know. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tweeted. This is gonna be my finest moment, ladies and gents.
Well, thanks to me, really.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Taladia. I love you, brother. I'm gonna send it to my people and see what happens with this.
So it's I just seen it. Here's the
I know, right?
that is actually that makes me laugh.
This is gonna be so good. Here we go. Let me see.
The anti-Snyder
Who's someone
people
else
are
I
gonna
can send this to? Who's someone else I can send this to? Here we go.
Oh, I know. Put it in Devia's DMs.
I see it. Haha, shade. Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. We have to do
I'm
something
putting it in
funny
the
on
Nicotina
Tuesday.
chat as well.
Are you?
Yes. There you go. I have posted it. I have posted it. I have shared it. Let's see what happens. I should do a joke video that's talking about why Lois Lane and General Zod belong together. That should be the next comment.
Oh, yes, that's perfect.
There you
Per-
go. There you go. Yeah,
that's perfect.
I see Talani's laughing. Oh gosh. Hashtag zealous, baby. That's my thing.
Yep, that's his thing, guys. So we'll bring it back to the comic talk, shall
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
so we're
So,
here.
yeah, go ahead.
Let me get the banner. Where's the banner? Where's the banner? Where's the thing? All right, there we are. Justice League issue 9.
Someone, my friend Darius just posted. Now I know that's gonna be because he was posting about stuff just to piss people off on Twitter. He replied to my tweet. He goes, "Now I know that's gonna make a few people mad." Here we
I just,
go. Do a short video with some love music. Okay, Ruth, that is a fantastic idea.
you know what? That's a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, Ruth. You're coming up as
That's gonna be great. I can make a thumbnail as like amalgamate. Like I can make it look like General Zod is holding Lois.
oh, oh, you know what? I just thought AI it. AI. Make an AI
Nah,
video. No, no, that'd be cool. An AI video.
maybe, but I'll find a way to make a good thumbnail for that. But yeah, so back to
Back
Justice
to
League.
Justice League. Yeah, back to Justice League. Justice League #9. Like when I read this, I was just like, yes, definitely like the artwork. Definitely picks up better than last week's or the week
It's a
before.
little
Sorry.
better pace than last time because last time it was like all about Green Arrow trying to join the league, which is cool for like a short episode, but it's like, just get to the point. I want to see the plot advance.
Yeah, and like you know what the cool thing
What?
is the fact that it's done by Jim Lee.
Yeah, yeah. You cannot go wrong with a Jim Lee comic book, dude. You literally cannot.
No, you can't. So I was gonna also say that it's very interesting to bring back the Flashpoint part of it, which was uh the letter to Batman. It's very interesting that that was part of this comic as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like it's very interesting that you get to see
because
that.
what this is really showing is the Justice League as individuals, and the thing about it, the reason why this issue is so good, even though it doesn't have that many action moments, like we said before, when you
Yeah.
look and take that Superman moment. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull it back up because that Superman moment is very important for what I'm about to say. Justice
Good.
League 9. Oh my gosh. So I sent my friend Robert the tweet. He's a hardcore Lois and Clark shipper. So I sent that as a joke. And he goes, you know, that happened on another Earth in Countdown. And I'm like, I need to find that. That has to become my thumbnail. This is true love that was taken away.
Oh wow, Pika! This I just seen Pika's tweet.
Yeah, yeah. So let me see. All right. So momentarily, ladies and gents, because this is going to be really important. And it really establishes it really establishes what the Justice League is. It kind of establishes that family dynamic of the team. So this was issue 9. All right, here we
Issue
go.
9, yeah.
So let me get to that particular page because there's a very important page that I want to bring up here. So, all right, here we go. So we go to this one. Here's what's important. And I touched on this when we covered Superman, Wonder Woman. What this is basically showing is that each of these characters, even Batman, even Flash,
Yeah.
growing up, they didn't fit in
Fit in.
anywhere because they were the
Yeah.
only ones, as far as they knew, that could do these things. Now, all of a sudden, with like the Justice League, and that's why the Bruce calling Clark is such an interesting thing, where he's like, "Oh no, you've been alone. Yeah, we got it, but now you have people that know exactly what you're going through." It's why Superman and Wonder Woman work so well.
Yeah. And you know what's also cool is the fact that um the the fact like you get to see Lois Lane basically ignore Clark and doing a thing, which is best for everyone's business.
Yeah, and she's again, she acts like in typical Lois Lane fashion, ignoring Clark. Which I'm like, yeah, we all know you suck, Lois. We all know. We all know you're a very mean person who belongs with General Zod. We all know that. That's got to be another. I should do an edit of that too. Take like Michael Shannon Zod and put it with Amy Adams, Lois Lane.
You know
Oh,
how
I'm
much
gonna milk the hell out of this.
what have we done?
You guys have given me content for weeks. Jeez.
But you know,
Jay Heat put a GIF in the Comics League group chat. He goes,
let me see
"Now
what
you,
it says.
yeah, I want to say." He goes, "Now you're just being cruel." Randy, that sounds like Lois Lane. All right, yeah, exactly. What have we done? You've given me comment. I thought you like yes, but Tevia, but Pika, I can't pass up the opportunity to make a Zois fan edit. I cannot pass up that opportunity, even though I like Amy M's Lois Lane. The opportunity is so there.
There is another Zois opportunity where we could do it.
Suicide
We
Squad kill the Justice League if they add in Zod.
No, no, not that. There's an animated movie.
There is. There's also the Christopher Reeve movie.
Yes. You know what? That would
There's
make perfect
so
sense.
much material for this. This is going to be great. But so my point with this is the Justice League realized that, and this is kind of where they start to like become more of a family because they're like, okay, you know what? We can be different together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way it works. And that's the genius of like making them younger and stuff. It works really well because every young person has had that experience of not feeling like they fit in, and now you're seeing the Justice League do it and being able to overcome it. But Terrence Stamp, Zod, love Ursula, not according to Comics League fan edits.
Not according to Comics League.
Trust me. No, see, here's the thing. I get that, Tavia. I get he hated humans, but he would recognize a human so vile as Lois Lane. You two are being when are we ever not, Ruth? When it comes to Lois Lane, when are we ever not devious?
When do we become mischiefs?
Because when you think about it, we're standing up for true love. These two people are so in love, but they can't be together because
You can blame this all on Tevia, by the way.
DC editorial.
You can blame this on the chat, guys. This wasn't on me. This was on the chat that instigated it to me.
This is gonna be great. I cannot wait.
But back to the comic before we get sidetracked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Clark obviously like gets a text message from Bruce. Like you said, like they're isolated and doing their own thing. And I'm just like thinking, wow, really well written. That was really well written, by the way.
Yeah,
I
well, it's
gotta
Geoff
say.
Johns. When has he ever not well written a comic?
Check the Comics League group chat.
Zane. Zane. See, I'm staying with Zois because it's a playoff of Clois.
Yeah. Yeah, you tell him that.
Yeah, exactly.
But what would you give this issue?
10 out of 10. Art solid, writing is solid. Yes, there weren't that many action scenes, but what they supplement, let me put it this way, Taladia, and to tell me if you feel the same way on this. Even though there was a lot of action scenes, everything felt important, as
Yeah.
opposed to like the previous issue where some of those things were some of those scenes were like, okay, we get it, like move on. Like that one villain that was made of like bugs that we covered. I think it was like two episodes ago. I was just like, come on, get to the point. Blame it on Tevi, even though it was Jared. Yes, I will accept full responsibility if I start an internet trend. Wait,
Oh,
was
by the way,
this?
look at Randy.
Zod and Lois can be the next Batman and Catwoman. Both can be toxic together. Only Batcat actually works. But Batman and Catwoman are actually good characters. Yes, you can't use the old lore about the Spy X family. Yeah. Hashtag blame. Hashtag blame it on Jared. That's the next hashtag. Blame it on Jared.
What have we done
We've
tonight,
created
guys?
a hashtag explosion. But all in all, 10 out of 10. How about you, Taladia?
I give this book a solid 10 out of 10 as well. I really enjoyed the issue. I really think that this issue definitely lived up to expectations, and I'm really looking forward to the next issue because the fact is there's a super villain that we get in the next issue, so it's really, really interesting.
Yes.
And everything is hashtag full circle in this issue too,
Oh, yes.
which is Flashpoint, which is hashtag
Yeah,
full
they
circle.
reference Flashpoint. Now,
Yeah,
if you guys ever want to actually read this on your own and you don't have DCU, go to you can go into like Amazon and plug in New 52 Geoff Johns Justice League Volume 2. It'll include all the issues that we're going to talk about.
yeah. And soon, guys, we'll be doing Batgirl as a one-off series, but that will be after Ramadan. So we want to let you guys know now. But anyway, speak. Tavia's got a question. Speaking of the New 52 Justice League, that reminds you, are you going to cover Trinity War?
No, we're stopping. I think we agreed, Taladia, after Throne of Atlantis, we're stopping.
Yeah, only the best books.
Well, the entire run is good, but we'll just be here for months and months if we're going to cover the entire Justice League book.
No, but we'll take a break and do a one-off series, then come back to Justice League.
Yeah, that's fine. So to answer your question, Tevia, yes, we will eventually cover Trinity War. And Ruth is pumped for Batgirl. Fun fact, Trinity War was the very first DC comic I ever bought.
No way.
Yeah, it was the first trade I ever picked up from Barnes & Noble.
That's something I learned today.
So you could
Anyway,
say it's my hashtag secret origin to bring it hashtag full circle.
this is where we get the origin of Comics Lord.
Yes, exactly.
But um, but yeah, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. I think the writing was done good. I think the full circle event is really good. Um, but what I really am interested is in knowing is where is Martian Manhunter? Why wasn't
He's
he?
all right. So what's happening right? It would be revealed in like a later series called JLA. But what's happening is, unbeknownst to the Justice League,
Mhm.
actually, they'll hint about this in at the end of Throne of Atlantis, I believe. But if you want me to just tell you, I can go ahead and do it right now.
Go on, no, go and tell me.
All right. So what's happening is that he's being recruited by the government in Argus to create an anti-Justice League Justice League in case the actual league turns evil. In other words, so what Amanda Waller did is she recruited all these different heroes like Stargirl, Simon Baz, Green Lantern, Catwoman, Martian Manhunter, Vibe, and they're intended to, if the Justice League turns evil, they're going to fight the Justice League. That's why.
Hmm. That's that's interesting. Um, but yeah, I just think that yes. No, I was just watching something. I was
Yeah.
just looking up something. I just sent you. Oh,
Pick me just as
oh
Batgirl. Oh,
wow,
interesting.
oh wow, Ruth. Wow,
More people are reacting like, I didn't see this ship coming.
wow, Ruth, that looks really cool.
Share it. Or at
Ruth,
least,
do you mind me sharing it?
or at least
DM
DM
it to
me as well.
DM it to Jared. You can't put it on the show? Okay. I wanted your permission before doing it.
Mhm. Already sounds like a better story than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Shots fired, Pika.
Alright. Alright, Ruth sent me this. She agreed to show it. There you
That's
go.
a good one.
What do you think?
That's nice. I like that one. That's a good one.
That's Ruth as Batgirl.
Oh, nice.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Um, what was that Batgirl in the comic? Cassandra Cain, wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Not Cassandra Cain. Spoiler.
Oh, Stephanie Brown.
Stephanie Brown, spoiler. Yeah, it's Batgirl. Reminds
That
me of that.
that actually works. Yeah. Because after all, Stephanie was a blonde, so there you go. That works.
Yeah. Hashtag full circle.
Ooh,
But
we're going hashtag full circle 80 times in this episode.
in tonight's stream. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Really enjoyed the comic. I can't wait to cover more stuff with
New 52, I swear, it's one of those initiatives that doesn't get enough credit for how amazing this era of DC was. And the sales reflected it. It sold like hotcakes.
yes. Sorry, Tevia. This sounds like hotcakes.
Unfortunately, and this is according to comic book shops, Rebirth didn't sell that well.
Oh.
I'm just telling you right there. There's a reason why if you watch the Superpowered DC documentary, they ignore Rebirth completely and focus on how awesome the New 52 was. That's why I love that documentary. It was so good. It says it was a fancy dress-up party. I don't go food shopping dressed like that. Oh, that would be hilarious. It'll be hilarious if you're like in the supermarket and then Deadshot just walks in, or Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that'd be funny too. Yeah.
Yeah, even though the new
Um.
and Tavia, again, I say this every single time you bring this up. I'm not saying every book was good. I'm saying most of it was good. But leave it to DC to screw it up, according to Randy. Yes, leave it to DC to screw it up. Exactly. Anyway, so did you have anything else you want to talk about, Taladia?
Yeah. Sorry.
Hmm?
So what were you saying?
I was gonna ask if you had anything else you wanted to bring up.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about WBD. Not WBD. Let's talk about Netflix and
Yeah.
Dan Lin being
So,
the film head for overseeing Netflix for the
for those
future.
who don't know, Dan Lin was actually one of the guys in the running to run DC Studios before they hired James Gunn. And some Snyder fans are thinking this is the end because he did make a joke about Snyder fans. But here's what you have to realize: he only made one joke, and I guarantee you, when Rebel Moon Part 2 comes out and is the same hit as Part 1, he's going to go do more Snyder. Because that's why Stuber was so gung-ho on Snyder, because he showed up, he brought in all these IPs. Now, granted, not all of them were as good as the others. I didn't think Army of the Dead was as good as Rebel Moon. I still liked it.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way, it's definitely not my least favorite Snyder film. To be clear, I like all of his movies, but in the hierarchy. But it's with me with Snyder, it's like his DC movies and then Rebel Moon. I don't have it at Netflix anymore. Have I already
No,
said
you
that?
didn't.
Yeah, I think you did once. But so he's come on to basically take over the entire film thing, and this is honestly good. Because here's what people keep forgetting. Do you know what film project that what's his name again?
Dan Lin
Dan Lin. Do you know what's a film project that he worked on back in the day? Justice League Mortal.
and Lego Batman.
But Mortal's important because that's another example of a Justice League story being left untold. And
Yes.
he clearly wants to do a lot of stuff with DC. So if a Cell thing happens, it could happen here because of those factors. So I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. Like Sel Abdul said, it's not the end of the world with Dan Lin taking over. If anything, it's
And
actually a pretty good thing.
we're gonna mention this here. We're gonna be doing a watch along for Lego Batman the movie.
Yep.
Um, maybe after Ramadan. We don't know when, but we'll let you know. But it's definitely gonna be sometime soon. Me and Ruth are gonna organize that up, and members are gonna be on for that, and it's gonna be great. If Warner Brothers does not get sold again, which company will take them? It's gonna be Comcast. Comcast Universal will take them.
Yeah, exactly. If one of us does it, so yeah, that's gonna happen. Well, it's not a matter of if Tevia; it's a matter of when because it's happening. It's happening
It's
at this
that it's
point.
happening. They've closed down network studios in New Zealand.
And here's the other thing: when it comes to what's happening with DC, I think. See, here's I think that basically, again, you're going to see a lot of stuff like get consolidated in the DCU. In other words, you won't have that many you won't have that many movies. They'll probably cut the budget of Superman because I've heard that that movie has like a ridiculous budget. Because here's why: when you have a movie that like has an overinflated budget, it makes it virtually impossible for these movies to make up that money in the box office.
Yeah.
Which is why another reason why Snyder works, because he can do so much with so little.
Yes. Yes. Ruth.
By the way,
Lego Batman. Hi.
there's a Zack Snyder reference in that
Lego.
movie.
Yes.
Not the one you're thinking, not the BVS reference. There's a hidden reference to Zack Snyder in Lego Batman. I'll point it out when we watch it.
Wait, does this mean James Gunn's universe is going to be cancelled or dead before it's even?
It'll either be changed or dead. It'll either be changed or dead because I think again they only had him announce
Changed?
like all these different projects to make the company look more profitable for a
It's gonna be
sale.
changed. It won't be dead. I think it'll change.
What they'll probably do is honestly, since a lot of these projects don't look like they can connect that well, they'll just say they're just single movies. We're not going to do interconnected.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. And then there you go. That works best. That's what I can see them doing. They now again, the studio could come in. They could and say, you know what? He has a plan. We'll keep him there. But honestly, here's the thing: if the corporate merger that we witnessed last year, or like when Discovery bought WB, is any indicator, I could see James Gunn actually being let go.
Yeah.
Because remember, when the new team comes in, they want to replace the old regime with their own people. So I don't think he'll be kicked out of DC. I just think he won't be the head of DC Studios anymore.
No, I don't think so too. I think they've gone far. I think the way things are with WBD, um, it's gone far beyond uh people's expectation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus with the whole, it's heavy. Says personally for me, if it means the Authority movie isn't connected to DC, I'm fine with that. Mostly because of Wildstorm cameras don't. They don't. Yeah, that's true. Plus, here's the thing: the Authority, because I read the book that James Gunn cited as the inspiration. That works best in his own universe. Honestly, it works best in it's very hard to link that unless you're going to do Superman and the Authority and the Elite. And you maybe wonder, you may tell me, well, Jared, that's what James Gunn is going to do. If he were actually going to do Superman versus the Authority, why didn't he cite that as the actual comic for that movie? He cited the Warren Ellis Authority run. which is
Yes.
great, by the way. I'm just gonna tell you that right there.
So so is there anything else we wanted to add? Suicide
Um,
Squad? Do you want to talk about a little bit about that?
sure, sure, sure.
So with the fact that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League did not meet WB's expectations,
But
how
they were
can you
comparing it to. Here's the thing: they were comparing it to a healthy brand, i.e., Harry Potter, as opposed to Gotham Knights. Because here's what WB doesn't, for some reason, they are the
Mhm.
most, I don't want to say brain dead because they're not. They are the most like out of touch company I've ever seen because there has been real brand damage with DC because of the movies and the comics and everything like that. The brand is damaged. Harry Potter is very much a healthy brand, which is partly why Hogwarts Legacy did so well. So you're expecting it to sell as well as Hogwarts. I'm sorry, that is idiotic thinking. And it's what would you expect from Warner Brothers?
it it's it's crazy. Like Warner Brothers shouldn't be comparing it
Well,
to
remember, this is the company that wanted to have their MCU instantly, so they screwed over creative.
but they they like Warner Brothers shouldn't have compared it to Hogwarts Legacy. What they should have compared it to is they should have compared it to Gotham Knights or better yet Arkham Knight,
Yeah, exactly.
but they never did. And that's why like I don't get WBD. It's like you say you want to profit for your video game industry, make single player games.
Yeah,
Continue
some
to make
because here's the thing. Yeah, you won't get like the live service funding, but you'll get the overall accumulated funds if it's a good single player game. Look at Arkham Knight. Look at Hogwarts Legacy, a single player game.
yeah.
Y-
You cannot compare Hogwarts Legacy to Gotham to Arkham what's it called? The Arkhamverse.
Yeah, because
No
here's
way.
the thing. That Hogwarts Legacy was the biggest game of its year. So I'm like, do more of that. Less live service because that doesn't work. You have
Yeah.
I set here's the thing, Taladia. Guess what? They literally have a second example in a row of why live service games won't work. Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Exactly.
Devia says stop
Yeah,
focusing on live
yeah.
service game.
They are very much underestimating the massive red flag that
Red lights.
yeah
Red
that pops
lights.
up in a gamer's head the minute they hear live service.
And plus there's been massive layoffs. Have you I don't know if you noticed that today.
Yeah, I saw that. And the thing about that is like, okay, so massive layoffs, then you can't even maintain the live service.
Then you can't maintain them live service because if there's massive layoffs in the gaming industry, there's no point of doing live service.
Because that's what you had with Halo Infinite. Because what happened is that game was released, but it was worked on by a bunch of contractors. And then there was a hiring freeze at Microsoft, so they couldn't hire permanent people to work on it. When they were able to do that, the game finally started being good.
Yeah. But Ruth has got a question for us.
Are you both going to see Dune 2? Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely yes.
absolutely going to be going to see Dune 2. Now I've seen the trailer. I love it. I can't wait to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tevia's asking. Then again, I don't know how long Helldivers 2 will last. It will last longer than Suicide Squad. I can tell you that from
The fact
experience.
that that game has so many players playing it that the servers are at capacity, yeah, I think Helldivers is going to be fine.
It, it's just crazy to think that Warner Brothers aren't looking at the bigger picture here.
Yeah, it is the most like myopic company I have ever seen.
Um, um,
I
you know,
I love this. William
con
from the Sci-Fi Center, he tweeted, "The sell to Netflix movement never bothered me one way or another. What I have found creepy and disturbing is others' obsession with them. If it's not your thing, move on, as they love to say." I'm retweeting that.
yeah, you know, I'm gonna retweet that as well. Thank you, William.
Yeah, he's true. And that's why I always tell people, whenever they say move on, I'm like, you first.
Yeah, so okay, Tevi's got a question. Like, does this raise the question about the Wonder Woman game? No,
If
the Wonder Woman game is in safe hands. The Wonder Woman game
plus
is,
it's a lot of you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as we know, it's a single player
yeah,
non-live service, right?
single player and then live service game.
Okay, good. So I think that's going to be a big arrow in its quiver that's not live service because you won't have that bam, bam, bam red flag.
And Ruth says William is awesome as
Yeah,
always.
I plan
Yes.
on getting him on the channel soon.
Yeah. But yeah, the Wonder Woman game, if I have to be honest with you, that has to that they have to stop picking up that momentum for that game.
Yes, market the
Uh,
crap out of that game starting now.
no, I wouldn't say now. I would say start summer Game Fest.
Or
Start
yeah, that is just starting the summer, but you gotta get that aggressive marketing out now it because here's the thing: when was it announced, Taladia?
2021.
3 years ago, and we don't know anything besides like that brief blurb that just repeats the same information. That's a red. That
Oh,
itself is a
and
red flag.
uh, and the concept art, leaked concept art.
Well, yeah, but beyond that, in terms of like what the game's going to be like, because if you're not, because with the amount of not information that's out there, that's a red flag, and it kind of tells me that maybe the company is planning on cranking the game because they don't want to invest in the marketing.
Um, hope the Wonder Woman game sells great.
If
Tavia
it comes
says,
out, I think it could sell really well.
3 years ago, seriously, what have they been doing that game all this time?
I
Tevye,
know.
here's the thing. WB don't like to overlap games. That's their problem. They think overlapping games we need to uh overlapping games will hurt the brand. It doesn't hurt the brand at all. Like,
Because it's a different brand. Wonder Woman is different from the freaking Suicide Squad.
yeah.
He would love that. Why don't you guys hop on his stream too? Honestly, that'd be fire. All my favorite guys in one. Well, first off, I'm glad I'm included in your favorite guys
Thank
thing,
you.
Ruth. Thank you very much. But and yeah, I would
I
love to.
appreciate that.
I'd love to.
I would love to.
I watch him all the time.
I would love to, Ruth. It's just that he's never asked me to be on, even though I'm in the
I
chat.
DM'd him a little while ago asking if he wanted to come on the show, and he goes, "Yeah, sure." So I'll follow up with him.
Yeah, because I definitely would love to do a collab with him. Definitely just talking comics, and because he's a comic book guy,
Mm-hmm.
so he would definitely have a lot of discussion with, especially with you, Jared. You
Yeah,
comparing notes with him. I can just
yeah.
see it now. I can just see the dream. William and Jared comparing notes. New 52 comics
It'd be like
against.
when I had Brucifer on the channel.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Randy says, DC needs to start treating Wonder Woman
Well,
with respect.
yeah, they did in 2017 when. Okay, so wait a second. Who was in the movies when in 2017 when they seemed to be respecting Wonder Woman? His name starts with a Zach.
And his last name is Snyder.
Yeah, and remember who is credited as one of the writers of Wonder Woman 1?
Zack
Actually,
Snyder.
Zach and Deborah Snyder.
They treated it with respect.
Yeah, the ones where they're not on there, when they're not included, we have Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah. This they treat at least I think this game is gonna be treated with respect. The character is gonna be
Hopefully.
treated with respect. And I think that this game is gonna sell well. Now, here's what I want to see DC do after the Wonder Woman game. is announce more games.
Superman, finally.
Yeah, yes, Superman needs to get announced.
Flash, Green
And
Lantern. Again, Mass Effect style Green Lantern game. I'm there day one.
and if you want to get a Batgirl game, go play Gotham Knights. I tell Pep all the time, if you want your Batgirl game, play Gotham
That's
Knights.
pretty much what that is.
Send him a DM. He owns a comic book store. It would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that.
All right, just ask him.
I think he follows me on Instagram, so
He doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I can't. I've tried to message him, but
I'll DM him on Instagram and ask him. A Mass Effect Green Lantern game style. Yeah, exactly. A Mass Effect RPG. Why
yes,
not?
yes, Randy, there was another
I
Wonder
know.
Woman.
I'm like, for some reason, it could be because I was working since 7 a.m. today, but I'm a little delirious. I thought there was a second Wonder Woman movie. Or play the Arkham Knight DLC for Batgirl. That was fantastic. Yeah, that was good. I'll give you that. That was great.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're gonna slowly wrap up here. But we're gonna have a couple of more, just maybe one big topic to talk about. Then we're gonna wrap up and do our outros, and because we got a lot of things to do, a lot of stuff we got to cover. Um, so Jared, what do you think about the whole shakeup? The shakeup with not Zack Snyder but with the Rebel Moon toys, like with them revealing toys.
There's so much good stuff, but they're $50 each, so I gotta really space this out because I want
It's
them
better
so
than
badly.
it's better than McFarlane toys. I'll tell you that right
It
now.
looks way better than McFarlane toys. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Which
yes, they had the BVS McFarlane toy.
he
Did you
makes
pick that?
good stuff. Don't get me wrong. His ZSJL figures are awesome. Except, how long did it take him to get a cloth cape?
Too long.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like I think this is a Mafex a Batman, and that has like a cloth cape.
Yeah, Mayfex Batman does cloth cape.
Yeah, but like if I have like black suit Superman over here, no cloth cape. It's just plastic.
I'm just like, really? No cloth cape for Superman? That's what really disappoints me the most.
He kind of had to when he released the Flash and the Batwing and the Batmobile because the figures are supposed to be able to go inside the Batmobile, and with a plastic cape, you can't do that.
They should. Pika's saying they should make games that are not set during the 12-hour in real time.
I think that was the complaint about Suicide Squad.
Oh, if you're complaining about Suicide Squad, honestly, there's nothing you can do about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad right now, it's not gonna be the only way it's salvageable is to add new modes. There's still bugs in the game that they haven't even fixed.
We'll see what happens when the DLC starts to get rolled out with all the new characters and
I,
the.
I haven't even touched the game in weeks because I've been trying to play with my friends on the car.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, hopefully they'll fix that. I want to see where the gamer base is once like the Justice League is brought back because I think that's what like the first year is going to be. One last thing, Jared, that tweet where you told the guys that they enrich your life is truly. Yes, exactly. Comics League would not be what it is without my guys here.
yeah, well, and I appreciate you for that. As I put in the tweet, which you didn't like,
Yeah,
I
of
said I
course.
appreciate you.
Of course.
That's what I said. Uh, Pika says Rocksteady games in general were all set during just one night, or in day in Suicide Squad case. Yeah, Rocksteady games, the Batman Arkham games were set in one night. Rocksteady takes over, I reckon, over days.
Mm-hmm.
But that is gonna be it from us, I believe.
All right.
That's been a great discussion. We talked about comics. We talked about Dan Lin. We talked about Snyderverse in some way, shape, or form. We talked about Suicide Squad, and um, we talked about Wonder Woman. But
Heck yeah.
let's do an outro, Jared. let the people know where you are coming up on your channel. And, you know, as they always say, lowest lane is lowest lane.
Yes, exactly. So currently, I have up a video talking about the problems with John Kent as a character. Tevye alluded to that earlier. I have the latest episode of Super Wonder Legacy is up, where Britt and I talk about crossing over Superman and Wonder Woman with like other franchises like Pokemon and Witchblade. This week we're gonna have a debate with Jay Heat, and then the week after is gonna be we're gonna talk about the other couples of DC that we really enjoy. And then in terms of Under Two Capes, we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite Marvel characters. We're going to go talk about Marvel for a bit. Movie night, we're going to be talking about Kick Ass. And in terms of CLD, we're going to be talking more in depth about the Dan Lin thing, because that's going to affect Snyderverse stuff going forward. But all in all, really fun time. Thanks for having me, Claudia.
No problem. As for me, guys, as you know, I tweeted out that um, we're going to be having a members video coming up. So you guys members that are in the chat now, you guys will be getting a members video sometime this week. And I'm going to make the video this week talking about why Suicide Squad did not meet sales expectations and why WB needs to fall back now and focus more focus focus more solely on trying to get their other games that are in development out, announce them as soon as possible. And also, guys, as for me, what I've also got coming up besides the members video, I've got Under Two Capes with Jared. Of course, I've got to do CLD, which is going to be on the MME channel, because I'm going to be there for that. And also movie night. There's also movie night this week, so hopefully you'll be able to attend that. And then next week, Snyder Fans Read Comics. That'll be the last one for 4 weeks, guys. So
Mm-hmm.
there will be a break after next week. So because of Ramadan, because Ramadan is starting up. So for me, streaming is going to be a little bit laid back a little bit, but I'll still make content like video wise and talk about videos. And Ruth, as I said, we got to organize a day to do movie night with the members. So that is also going to be planned out. So that being said, Jared, let them know what the final word is today's stream.
Hashtag Zois.
All right. And on that note, we're transitioning out of here.